Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Breaking Up with My Boyfriend Because He Went on a Bachelor's Trip and Spent All Day with Girls Without Telling Me? I, 24 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 30 male, over something that happened during his bachelor's trip. Oh, his bachelor's trip. Before he left, we had a conversation about open communication, especially since I knew he would be talking to women and possibly partying. I told him I just wanted to be kept in the loop if he was heading out to clubs or hanging out with girls. I wasn't expecting him to be glued to his phone 24/7, just basic updates. I'm going to throw a red flag right there because the fact that OP had to have this conversation with him means that there's a distrust to start with. She needs to know if he's going to be out around other women because she doesn't trust him. Why else would she need to know, like, the demographic makeup of the places that he's going to? The first night, everything went as planned. They went to dinner and the club, and he kept in touch with me, which I appreciated. But then the next day, they went to a sandbar, and he started taking hours to respond to me. His replies were short, and when I asked if there were any girls with them, he ignored that part completely. 2 hours went by with no response, and I saw he was back at the Airbnb. He said he was in the pool, but didn't give much else. Later that night, when we resumed talking, I asked again if there were girls there, and he finally admitted that he spent the whole day with a group of bachelor girls he met at the bar, and they all went back to the Airbnb to swim. Yeah, taking them all back to your place probably isn't a great move. I mean, he did tell her about it, so there's that, maybe.
After she asked.
She had to ask. I told him I was upset because he had all day to tell me, and I shouldn't have had to ask. He brushed it off, saying I was being crazy and controlling for making a big deal out of nothing. Do you think douchebags like this, like, receive a copy, like a script? It's like, here are the standard rebuttals. You're being crazy and controlling. Yep. Okay. You're making a big deal of nothing. Okay. Yeah. You're overreacting. Okay. At least deviate from the script, dude. Come on now. The more I tried to explain that it wasn't about him hanging out with girls, but the lack of communication and transparency, the more he attacked me, calling me paranoid. At that point, I ended things right there. Ooh, wow. Now I'm questioning if I was too controlling or if I had the right to be upset. We had agreed upon certain boundaries before he left, and I felt like he completely disregarded them. Am I the astronaut? So, question is, am I the astronaut for breaking up with my boyfriend because he went on a bachelor's trip and spent all day with girls without telling me? My understanding of this would be, am I the astronaut for breaking up with my fiance? It was his bachelor's trip.
No, it was. I thought it was at first too, but I don't
Okay. So something that happened during his bachelor's trip. The wording in the beginning here.
I think it's just like a bachelor beat.
Okay, so it's like his trip, not his bachelor party.
Yes.
Okay, so if they're not engaged, it's less surprising, I guess, that it would happen like this. But look, OP, if you aren't treated with the kind of respect that you want and deserve, that's indicative of how the rest of the relationship is going to be. And I think you have every right to say nope, to nope out. You created a boundary ahead of time, and you felt like he completely disregarded that. And when you tried to explain that, you were only gaslit. You chose you instead of giving someone grace who had not earned it. You are not the asshole for that. I applaud you for that. You had enough self-respect to not let somebody mistreat you. What would you do, Tater? Heat lamps are on, come on. Yeah, come on up to the sandbar.
I have a margarita.
Body shots. Ready?
No. I think, one, I'm basing this off our relationship, obviously, but I trust you. So I wouldn't need that 24/7. I wouldn't need that much communication because I would want you to enjoy yourself. I know that you wouldn't cross a line. So in my mind, I wouldn't need you to update me all the time. I probably would not be 100% would not be happy with girls coming back to the Airbnb.
No.
And I think if you had multiple people who were in you're at a bachelor party, you don't need to bring girls back to the Airbnb. Like, at the end of the day, you just don't. Like, you want to have fun with them at the beach, like, whatever, but you don't need to bring them into your personal space. So that, I think, was just, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like, obviously people feel differently. People on Reddit called her controlling, obsessive, and crazy, all of those things. The fact that she tracked his location, and I'm like, if you don't have anything to hide, why does it matter if somebody knows where you are? But I don't think she is those things. She set boundaries that are comfortable with her, and he broke those boundaries. So she has every right to break up with him for that reason.
Callie, your question here, but how much was she blowing up his phone? So here's what I'm falling back to.
She did make a small edit, so I wanted to get you to read that. It's just that top paragraph.
Oh, okay. Before diving into that edit, going back to the beginning of this, where she had to have the pre-conversation with him about wanting to know if he was going to be around other girls. She's got an insecurity there, right?
Sure.
And it's either an insecurity that was brought on by him or by previous relationships. No matter what, they had the conversation ahead of time and he agreed to it.
That's 100% what I think too. He agreed to what she requested, which means that whenever he was leaving, he didn't have a problem with it. He didn't have a problem with it until he brought girls back to the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And to me, that's untrustworthy.
It was fine until he had something worth hiding.
If she trusted him, she wouldn't have set that boundary. And that's my opinion, what I believe, and how our relationship operates. If she did truly trust him and knew that he wouldn't step out, she wouldn't have set the boundary, but she did, and he crossed it. So I think she got her answer. Like she was vindicated in what she wanted and what he was supposed to give to her, and he didn't do it. But I just don't bring girls back. You're like this dude. One dude's getting married. You're already with your girlfriend. Like there's no reason to have girls back in your personal space.
Yeah, and I think the role reversal, that is hard to say. You try to say it.
Role reversal.
I'll be damned.
I know it.
What is Lambert's the home of?
Throwed roles. Her edit says, I want to clarify this because everyone seems to think I wanted to be updated nonstop. That isn't the case at all, and I fully expected him to take hours to respond to me. It's the fact that we had set a boundary to let me know if he did meet up with girls. He avoided the question when I asked him because his behavior was extremely weird, and he chose not to say anything even when he was free to do so. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. He agreed to do something, he didn't do it. And it was a big something. And he sidestepped the comment. Like he f***ed up. So he either has to take responsibility for the fact that he f***ed up and fix his communication issue with her, fix the trust issues with her, or they just need to go their separate ways because they're not compatible.
Right. And Kelly, to your point here, like about people blowing up people's phones and being controlling or needing that constant reassurance, even if that's where she's at, either because of his previous behavior or because of her previous experiences, period. I don't think she's the asshole for this because she can't handle being in a relationship with someone who will not communicate with her like that. So no matter what, even if she did blow him up, the fact that she felt like she needed to blow him up says everything you need to know, right?
At the end of the day, they just don't seem compatible. He wants a more chill, laid-back relationship. She needs reassurances in certain areas, and he's unwilling to give that. So you either have to compromise or go your separate ways.
Yeah.